Alright everybody, welcome back. Well, not really welcome back, but welcome to Pokemon Crystal. It is I, Xilestar, and today we're going to be starting Pokemon Crystal. So, we're going to start off as if, like, it's a brand new experience kind of thing. Yeah, so, boy, I'm going to go talk about, some things that happened, off camera, but, yeah. I will definitely go and talk about that. It is actually 10 o'clock. Wow, that's actually kind of cool. Oh, you don't actually tell me the time. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Actually, it just turned 41, so there we go. Wow. Cool. I didn't even sleep yet. Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures that we call Pokemon. People and Pokemon live together by supporting each other. Some people play with Pokemon, some battle with them. But we don't know everything about Pokemon yet. There are still many mysteries to solve. That's why I study Pokemon every day. Now, what did you say your name was? So, just in case anybody is wondering, this is going to be a slightly different than the last two that we did, which was gold and silver. However, it's only going to be slightly different, and I'll show you why I say it's going to be slightly different. Are you ready? Yes, your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. A world of dreams and adventures. With Pokemon awaits. Let's go. I'll be seeing you later. Okay, so I want to mention everything that happened a little bit of the last time that I uploaded, and I apologize for that. However, I actually have a good reason. So, the last time I recorded, which I think was the Oblivion modded playthrough, or Sercacraft, one of the two, I said that I was going to go get whatever I have checked. Or maybe it was silver. I don't know. One of those. I said that I was going to get checked because whatever it is, it doesn't seem like it was getting any better. So, I found out that it was actually much worse than what they thought. Well, it got worse than they were expecting. So, I had to stay at the hospital for about 3-4 days. Fortunately, I had enough videos for only 2 of those days, but I thought that maybe just, well, the first day, I was able to upload Oblivion, which is what the last upload was Oblivion, so that was like the first day I was hospitalized, pretty much. Then later on, I was thinking though, like, do I have enough videos? The only videos I have now that I can upload is Sercacraft, and then nothing else, because silver is finished being uploaded. Other than the completes. So I said, well, that's going to be a problem. So I said, I'll just not upload and then just apologize later on. Which is exactly what I did. If you go into the community tab on the channel, it'll say that, like, you know, I was sick, I'm taking some time off just to get better. I didn't expect it to be this long. The plan was to come back last week, but unfortunately, that didn't come true. I was expecting to come back last week, and then something else happened, and so I couldn't come back last week. I can only come back this week, which is why you'll be seeing, at the time of this recording, you'll be seeing that Sercacraft, the final 2 Sercacraft videos of that session, before I have to record more. So you'll be finding that. So I'm not gonna say what I had, but let's just say that it's a lot better now, and I've had a long enough break that, like, I feel like I've been given enough time to recover from it, and I still have the cough, so you'll still hear me kind of cut the mic maybe at some points, but it's much less frequent now, but it's still very bad to have. So yeah, so another thing is that I won't be recording for long. during the first session as unfortunate. I think I thought that about silver too. So I just checked gold and silver. They were both at 8 videos for their first session. This won't be that. This will be only 6 videos. I apologize ahead of time, but I really need it to be 6 videos because I don't want to I don't want to overexert myself just because oh, I need videos. I don't want to just dive in head first and go oh yeah, I totally want to keep overachieving, overdoing the amount of stuff that I do just because I wanted my YouTube channel to be successful. It's well, that's not going to happen because I took a month off. As I said, last week was supposed to be planned to be the comeback, so that was only oh, I took only 3 weeks off, so it's not that big of a deal, but no, now I took a month off, and it's it's not as glamorous, but hey, I really need the break. I was still in pain, but I was home, and I was able to do a lot of stuff that I really wanted to do that off screen and just get done. So you know what? It was so it's not I wasn't working on stuff for the channel. It was just that there was no videos being made. So I think we should just continue. I will not be reading all of the dialogue, by the way, because a lot of the dialogue is just repeats from gold and silver. So I'm just going to go very slow so you guys can read it yourself. But I just wanted to mention that right off the bat because you guys will be seeing this on the 10th of August. I think the video that should be technically the first of the comeback was the special. The special was already pre-recorded. I can even tell you when that was recorded. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you when that was recorded. It was recorded on April. No. It is Wednesday, I believe, right? It is Wednesday. No, not daylight savings time. Close. It's 10:48. Did I just say yes and then she's still explaining the phone to me? Yeah, alright. Alright, hello. Drethus, there you are. Need to ask you a favor. I'm conducting new Pokemon research. Right now I was wondering if you could help me with it, Drethus. You see, I'm writing a paper that I want to present at a conference. Cool. But there are some things I don't quite understand yet. While I go grab my phone, because I'm going to need it. Don't quite understand yet. So, I'd like you to raise a Pokemon that I recently caught. Sure. I could do it on the computer, but nah. Blah, 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 you can count on it. Alright. Okay, I got an email. Okay. Hey, listen. I have an acquaintance called Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time it's real. It is intriguing, but we're busy with our Pokemon research. Wait. I know. You go instead. Can you go in our place? Yes. I want you to raise one of the Pokemon contained in these balls. It'll be the Pokemon's first partner, Drethus. Go on, pick one. Okay, first of all, I forgot to do this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, everything else should be fine. Menu account. That's a weird thing. I don't know what that's about. Anyway. Yeah. So, the thing is that, the legendary in this game, if you do not know it, it is, Suicune, which means that it's one of the 3 legendary dogs. Now, the challenge for this is to use one of the other legendary dogs to go up to where we are in terms of like where we get Suicune. Now the plan is that whichever one we pick, so between Cyndaquil and Chikorita, so Cyndaquil would be Entei, Chikorita would be Raikou or Raikou, however you want to pronounce it. And then Suicune we get at whenever we get it. Now, the challenge, I say but pretty much the whole series is going to be that we're going to be using whichever dog we get a hold of first. And then after the 4th gym, so after we beat the 4th gym, we get the other dog that's close to our level. So let's say we're level 25 when we beat the 4th gym. I think normally for me is Morty. So when we beat Morty, we get the other dog that's same level or maybe one less. Who knows? I'll probably just do the same level. But, and then hopefully we get Suicune after the 8th gym. I'm hoping. If not, if we do get Suicune before the 8th gym, we can't use it until the 8th gym. That's how it is. Alright, so Alright, so let's go and toss a coin. Here we go. Toss a coin. There we go. Coin flip. Whatever. It didn't show the Google one. Okay, well, you know what? Since you won't show the Google one phone, I'll have to go online. Alright. Can I just type in flip a coin? There we go. Alright, so it's flipping a coin now, which is unfortunate because I kind of just wanted to say what was each and every one was going to be. Okay, so heads will be Entei, tails will be Raikou, or Raikou, whatever. I'm just going to call it Raikou because that's usually how I call it. Alright, let's see what we get. We got heads, so we get to start off the game with Entei. Alright. Guess we're going with Cyndaquil. You'll take Cyndaquil, the fire Pokemon. Yes. Oh, that's right. I don't type it. And maybe I'll just name it the way I normally name them. So I think it's like Entree. But I do it in a cool, well, weird way, mostly. Alright, Mr. Pokemon lives in Cherry Grove to the next city over. It's almost a direct route, so you can't miss it. Just in case, here's my phone number. Call me if anything comes up. Cool. If your Pokemon are hurt, you should heal it with this machine. Feel free to use it anytime. Try this, I'm counting on you. Yes. Just gonna leave. Have this for your errand. Perfect. Yeah, alright. Alright, so we're gonna save it. I'm gonna quickly go through and edit to that Cyndaquil becomes a Entei, and I will be right back. Alright, so now we have an Entei. So I just want to kind of explain what I've done off camera or behind the scenes while I was not recording. So that way, though, it's at least better sort of to kind of like understand exactly like obviously the first week when I was indisposed, pretty much. I don't want to go too much in topic of it. More so for privacy reasons. Like, obviously no work was done, but the second week, I sort of did a little bit of work. I think I did a little bit of work with my Oblivion mod, and with the help of someone, I was able to get something to work perfectly fine. And I found out that there was a bug with the armor. Not the armor, so to speak, but more so with one of the active abilities. Excuse me. So, if you are new to the channel, for my Oblivion modded playthrough series, / Oblivion mod playthrough series, I use a particular set of equipment that I have sort of modded into the way that I wanted, while also, not only that, I don't remember if there's any trainers or anything like that up here, or if there's any like good Pokemon to train off of. Anyway, so one of the crucial things that's about my set of equipment is an ability called Soul Link. Now, one of the crucial things that Soul Link does is that it grabs what your maximum amount of health, magicka, and fatigue is. It grabs those values. So no matter what, it'll always grab what your maximum value is. But unfortunately, there was a problem with the script that I didn't notice at the time. I don't know how I didn't notice it, but I didn't. And it was a huge error that I noticed after the fact when I was trying to get something else to work. That for some reason, what Soul Link kept doing was that it kept grabbing what your maximum health is. But the problem is that it kept grabbing your maximum health, but because the way that it captures the maximum health is what your current health is at. So pretty much for me, and technically my set, it kept going, so the health kept going down, so it could never trigger any of the regeneration effects it is supposed to have. And same idea with like the health, the magicka, and the fatigue. All of it wouldn't be affected. This is a huge problem. And at one point, the off-battle regeneration would kick in, but it would never kick off, which was always very weird. And it wouldn't kick off when you go into battle, which is when it's supposed to kick off too. The out-of-battle regeneration is supposed to be removed in two different ways. One is when your magicka, your current magicka, is at 100. When it's at 100, of course it's going to be like all the way maxed out. Or it's going to be enough so that you can get all of your magicka back relatively easy. And when you're in battle, it's supposed to remove it because, well, now you're in battle, you're not out of battle. So, obviously, it's got to remove it, so that you can get the better regeneration effects. So when I found out that there was a bug, I was like, oh, okay, but I don't know why it's doing this. So I thought that maybe there wasn't a problem with my other script, it was just Soul Link that was just not making it work properly. It's supposed to work with Soul Link, but anyway. So I was trying to figure out how to get it to work with it, and I found out the solution is to just put a timer. It's just to put a timer. I have to put a game mode timer of 2 in order for it to properly grab the numbers. Now, the interesting thing is that before, I had to put whatever the maximum magicka is plus 100, because it wouldn't count one of the abilities that gives the player 100 magicka. So what I had to do is I had to, by the way, I'm just going to talk over this. So now I could remove that, so that was just incredible. So entirely, it just fixed everything. And of course, another thing that I did is that one of the effects that it's supposed to do is it's supposed to remove, if you have the Atronach birth sign, it's supposed to remove it and replace it with the mage birth sign. So let's, yeah, so what it does is it replaces the Atronach birth sign's effects with the mage's birth sign effects. Now the reason why it does that is because the armor already gives you the rest of what the Atronach birth sign's effects. Because that's kind of like how it was supposed to be. And plus it makes sense too. So that's pretty much what I've been doing specifically for the Oblivion mod. I've just been adding things and changing things, and I fixed that clipping issue I saw with Sanctuary. I fixed that. And then I found out something very interesting, is that I could literally just use the original Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary like coordinates for every item, so the X, Y, and Z axis. I can literally just use the same ones, and it will just be perfect. So I thought that was very interesting. So instead, so that's pretty much all I did, is that I just fixed that. So the room is fixed. Everything in the room is still where it originally was. I think I just changed the lights only because some of them were clipping into like the walls or pillars, and then other ones were way outside the walls and pillars. So I just fixed those, and then that's pretty much all I did. But for like the cupboards, the beds, the chests, and all that stuff, they're all still in the same spot. I've just been neglecting to do it because I just don't feel like doing it right away. Because technically you can still access them. Like, like you can still do everything you could normally do if the room was never fixed. So it's not that big of a deal. It was just the lights just looked very weird. What's the other thing too? All the doors are named to where they actually lead you to. I actually got help to upgrade the bank script. So if you don't know what I mean by that, I had an item, I created an item that would allow you to be sort of acting like a bank. So you can store money and you can take it out. Now, I wanted help so that I can turn it to almost be like an ATM, where it would ask you if you like to withdraw or deposit, right? So that's exactly what I did, is that, or that's exactly what we did. We figured out how to do it, and then, now technically I already kinda knew how to do it. We did it with the spell tome, the Eternal Darkness spell tome, but unfortunately, the way that the wiki for the construction set says is that activators are different. So I didn't know like how exactly to do it that would actually properly work. So that's why I just wanted a little bit of assistance with it. But yeah, so the mod is just being more and more like fleshed out, and just being overall just being something that I can just dive in head first and just go, yeah, I can use it. Is there any other things that I did? Hello. Yeah, his name was Ocmus. But yeah, so there's still plans for the island, or for my mod. I have Well, technically it's an island, so I guess the island is okay. But I still have plans for it. So I am currently going to... Well, I say currently, but I mean like later on. When I have more free time, I will give it a shot. Maybe I'll just do it at the end of this week. Like maybe Friday, I might just try and do at least a tiny bit of work on it. But yeah, other than that, I pretty much mostly finished putting away all of the storage from the main lobby area to... Oh, what is it? From the main lobby area to the storage room. Now, there are a few areas in which that I haven't done it. And these were the barrels that have loose items in them. So ones that don't have, like, shulker boxes filled with items. Although, there are some shulker boxes that actually do have items in them. In those, in some of those barrels. I'm just going to do this just in case there's something different. I'm just going to still talk over it, though. So I think one of them has, like, I think... what is it? It has a... Oh, what is it? Oh, what's the wording for it? I mean, I'm gonna need Sentra, but I can... do I want to catch it now, though? Sure. I mean, if I get a decent level one that actually loads with one shot, I'll catch it. Actually, you know what? No, I'll just catch it. Oh, should I catch a Pidgey, too? I mean, I'm gonna need the Pokemon later anyway. But, yeah, because I don't think there's anything else that needs to be mentioned, to be fair. For Arcanix, everything is pretty much put away, except for the loose barrels, yeah. And then some of them do have shulkers that are filled with items. I know one of them has the Skulk stuff. And the reason why I saved those items in particular, or why I saved, like, those barrels in particular, is because I wanted to make sure that at least some of it gets done on camera. I don't mean that a lot of them have to be done on camera, but, like, there's not that many barrels. I think there's, like, 10 to 12 of them. So it's not a lot. Compared to however many there was in the main area, you guys are only getting, like, a snippet of what's there. Like, a tiny, tiny bit. So it's like... So it's like you guys are getting some of it, but you're not getting the whole picture. I've also moved the Elytra booster to where I think it's more appropriate. However, I am thinking of changing it so that instead of it giving the flight duration of 10, it gives a flight duration of 3, which is more vanilla based. So I think it would be perfect. And this is where you tell me that the Pidgey would have lived in 1 HP. That would have been funny. It would have been funny if it actually did live with 1 HP. I would have been so angry. But anyway, so yeah, so Arcanix is mostly done storage-wise. There's only like a few things, I think, still need work. I think I need to change around the enchanting bottles, or the bottle of enchanting, and the lapis stuff. And the lapis blocks. But other than that, yeah, I don't think there's anything else mostly to mention. I'm just gonna heal up. Gonna spend all our Poké Dollars on money, or on Pokeballs, sorry. Spend all our money on Pokeballs, and then that's pretty much that. So yeah, so Arcane, yeah, so that's pretty much all the things I can think of. And I just gotta find more spots to put the command signs that we did get from, Rosaria base. Currently I am still doing work with the 1.21 base, so that's still going to get done at some point. However, that one has been getting slow progress because I've been working on Arcanix. So, it didn't get as much progress as I would have liked, but it did get some progress, though. And I have a much more clear picture of what I want for the area, so it's perfect. Or for the creation, it's now a little bit better. I'm going to have an area in which that I can have my bees out, which is going to be cool, because I get to see my 1.15 bees again. But not only that, though, I get to actually have something kind of, for lack of a better word, to have something to, like, buzz around kind of thing. So, like, having movement in the area. So instead of it just being, like, dead air, like Arcanix and Rosaria base, where there's nothing kind of flowing, mind you, there is water, but there's nothing flowing in there. Like, there's no cows, there's no sheep, there's no, like, any of that in the build at all. So I kind of just want to have that be the main center focus as well. Where I want to put more animals and stuff like that. Like, one thing that I do want to do, and I want to do it in, like, on camera as well, is to get a sniffer egg. Now, I know I'm going to need 2, I think. However, that's fine. And I want to also collect turtle eggs. And I also want to collect a decent number of axolotls. Oh, the reason why we got Sentret is because it can learn Cut. So we're going to need that later on. I think we're only going to need like 3 Pokemon, I think. I like to use Abra for teleport, but I don't think I think I barely use it. Should I go to a different area to hopefully get like a higher level? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so there was a Pokemon news thing, I think, sometime this week, or that happened sometime this week. I actually don't know anything about it. I don't know what got shown, so I kind of just want to see briefly. Mostly, I want to know if they've actually put up a release date for them. I just want to know when the release date is so I can plan ahead for it, right? Oh, it will release on the 13th of September. That's in a month. That's awesome. I just want to double check something though. Oh, cool. Now, I probably won't have enough time to do like maybe the whole DLC, but I might have enough time to do at least a little bit of it. I'm hoping that it doesn't do it like it did, like it pulled on Crown Tundra, because I am still angry about that. So I had the day that Crown Tundra was supposed to come out planned. It was like October 22nd or 23rd it was supposed to come out. One of the days. Actually, I can find out. Pokemon, if I can spell, Sword. Pokemon Sword, Crown Tundra release date. Because I heard that, yeah, October 22nd. So I had October 22nd, like, I freed up that entire day. Like, I didn't need to go anywhere. Nothing needed to happen. I had the full day to myself, and every 10 minutes, pretty much, up until an hour, I was like, I was trying to, like, you know, make sure that the DLC was there and didn't. Then I think I woke up later, because I think I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go sleep, and then when I wake up, it's gonna be there and it's gonna be fine. And then it didn't show up. So I'm wondering if this is like the Australian or the Australia release, the Australian release, the Australia release date. Because now I do want to say this too. I have no way of actually being able to buy games with Australian currency or anything, or any way of buying like an Australian version of it. So I want to get that straight. That's the first thing I want to mention. And two, I don't mind waiting like for like the actual like North American release date. I don't mind that. So if it says that like it was released on October 22nd, I expected it to be released on October 22nd. But when I woke up and it was October 23rd, I was able to play it. I was so angry. Because I was waiting for it the entire day. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to sleep and I'm going to wake up early on the 23rd and I'm just going to play it. That's exactly what I did. I woke up early on the 23rd, recorded for an hour and 4 minutes so I can get 4 videos, and then so I could edit them with ease, because Elgato software to record is amazing, or Nintendo Switch to record is amazing, especially just to edit. So again, like, I was able to easily just do it, and then all of a sudden, like, we were able to finish it within like a good amount of time, I would want to say. Yeah, is there anything... Is there anything interesting about this? Is it just like revealing... Oops. Oh, Sarby has a little bit of an error. That's fine. I think I'll go watch this after I'm done recording. You're joking. Wait. I'm confused here. Oops. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. From September 1st to 17th. Oh, okay. Whoa, Scizor, Blissey, and Hydreigon. So we're going to be getting a lot of decent stuff. That's interesting. Oops. So that's cool. I'll watch the actual video when I get a chance. However, I'm glad that they are going to be releasing the Teal Mask. I kind of wish that it said August 13th, because then it would have been cooler. I mean, I know it says spring, and I kind of associate spring with like September, October, November kind of thing, but still, like, I still would have liked it to be August, because then it's like, not only do I have to like not really worry about recording Crystal, but like I get to show you guys my Scarlet. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to my Scarlet, and I have to change that to set mode. Forgot about that. Maybe because Scarlet got rid of it. Actually, do they say anything that they brought back features or something like that they removed? New Pokemon, newly revealed returning Pokemon, updated new moves and new abilities. Nope, nothing. That's interesting. Yeah. That's odd. A Clefairy outbreak will run in Scarlet from September 29th through October 2nd. Why would it be Clefairy? Like, that's just an odd presentation. Like, why would it be that? Set. That's what I want. The reason why... Oh, no, not this again. What is this about? If you don't know, if you go to... Oh, dang it, man. I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click no. Anyway. We're just gonna get a bunch of calls saying like, "Oh, well, you spent your money on something that you think that I think is gonna be really good." It's not. Anyway. Yeah. So a lot of things have been. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like, if you go in set mode, when you're facing a trainer with multiple Pokemon, it won't allow you. It won't bother you about. Would you like to change Pokemon? I love it. And unfortunately, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they got rid of that. So. Unfortunate. Sure. Yeah. One thing that I did want to mention, though, is that while I do have Scarlet and Violet, I didn't buy the DLC for both. I bought it for Scarlet only. Now, I actually have a good reason for this. The reason why I bought it only for Scarlet is because there's only one Scarlet save, and plus it is the one from the channel, so it makes more sense. However, I do have a Violet save that is done in the game, so if we do want to have like a Miraidon on the thing, if we can. However, I don't know if they actually showed off the levels of the area. Again, I will find out. Like, I will find out later, so don't worry. But I want to say this though. If it is just like how Isle of Armor was, where they were like, I don't want to say of the level of the player, because you could have had level 100s. Believe me, I had a level 100 Rillaboom by the time that I finished the normal game of Sword and Shield. Before I even fought like the Elite Four, pretty much, I had a level 100 Rillaboom. So I know what I'm talking about here. But I mean, like, if they're like level 65 or something like that, or 70 even, I think I could do what I said I was gonna do. Which was I was gonna definitely carry over my shiny Iron Valiant as the main Pokemon, and then have the what's it called? The Walking Wake and the Iron Leaves as backup, if you will. And what's the other one? I have no idea. Oh, right. I have now a Hisuian Growlithe that has its hidden ability. I think it has the right type or Terra type that I wanted. I think it's Rock or Fire. I can't remember. It's one of the two. And while it doesn't have the right move pool yet, because I haven't done anything with it, it does have... I think it has a lot of the stuff that I want for it. However, I haven't really figured out how I want to sort of engineer the IVs and the EV, like not IVs, but like the EVs kind of thing. Like, do I want, like, I kind of want the attack to be high, sure, but like, because this Arcanine that it will eventually evolve to is not as fast as the Cantonian version, it's like, okay, what do I want to do with it? Do I want to have the same idea? Like, do I want to have the same thing? Or do I want to go with something different? Because I think the move pool I was thinking of was... well, I was thinking of... what was it? It was Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Wild Charge, and I can't remember what the last move was. I think it was Protect. I'll have to check. I'll know right off the bat if that's exactly what I was thinking of. It might have been. It might have also have been something else. Or it could be Bulk Up or something like that too. Oh, wait. It might have been Protect, I'm not quite sure. But I was thinking Head Smash because it's a very powerful move, and because of the hidden ability, I don't get affected by the, what's it called? The recoil damage, so you know it's beneficial for me. However, the one problematic thing about it is the fact that, like, I think it has less accuracy than what it should have. Yeah, it's got 80 accuracy. Which is something I don't like, is low accuracy moves. Maybe you have to teach it as a Growlithe, I'm not quite sure. Oh, I remember another thing that I used the Abra for. It's also got Flash. I just remembered that. I'm just trying to see here. I'm trying to see if, like, if any of them, like, learn anything, like, interesting. But no, doesn't really look like it. Yeah, none of them. Howl is like the only good boosting move. As unfortunate as that is. So I guess it is Protect. Yeah, I guess it's Protect. Alright. But yeah. Yeah, so I'll try and hopefully get the move pool that I want right off the bat, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's the EVs that I just don't want to, like... Either I've already done it and I'm just wasting time, or I haven't. Is this the one? Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to see what Pokemon it says that it's going to be releasing. Charmander. It's like I thought that was already coming in. I don't even know what list has changed. I don't know what changed on the list. They don't separate it based off of like when it was introduced, which is very sad. But I hope that this will give you something interesting, similar to how like Isle of Armor had the you can reset EVs with just one click of a button, but it's like a special currency that you need. And at least with like this, it'll be much easier to get that special currency too. Because while I'm not gonna say that Armorite Ore was hard, there was an easy way that I farmed it, and that was using a Blissey raid. Because I think it gave you like 3 or 5 at a time. Or give you like 3 to 5 at any given time, which is amazing. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bunch of legendaries that can go in the game. That will be actually going into my Scarlet whenever I actually get off my butt and do it. It'll be done. And it will be great. I've already tried to beat... Well, for the Violet that I did beat, which wasn't the one that I was partially recording, it's actually a different Violet. I think the one that I'm recording is on my account page, and I think the one that I used was on a different account. But anyway, so the one that I used, I tried I threw a level 100 Landorus, and I threw, I think, a level 100 Urshifu, I think, or something like that. I think it was a level 100 Urshifu. I'm not but I can't remember which one. Just so I can get the items or whatever, because I wanted to use those 2 Pokemon kind of thing, like eventually. And while I was able to get Landorus's item, unfortunately, you cannot get the Scroll of Water or Darkness if you have Urshifu. I found that out, and I was very confused because, again, when I read on Cerebi, it says that you can get it on there. So, this is the whole Giratina from BDSP getting the footprint ribbon all over again. Where it's like, Cerebi says this, but yet, when I do it in the game, it doesn't allow me to do it. I mean, it's the same thing with one of the ribbons, too. But then again, any website I go to that has, like, similar things for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for ribbons and for marks and stuff like that, says the same exact thing. So it confuses me that it says, like, oh, when your Pokemon reaches a friendship of 200, you will get this, like, ribbon or mark. And then it's like, okay. But, like, Captain Kidd was able to get it before everybody else. Which was the most interesting thing I've ever seen. Because it doesn't make much sense, though, that, like, Captain Kidd got it before my starter got the ribbon. And while, truth be told, I did use Captain Kidd for a lot of the game, so you could argue that, like, it had more friendship, but I've had my starter for a longer period of time. because I think it was only very later, very late, I was able to get a Char Cadet that I could literally use. No, wait, I think that, no, wasn't it the first time I was able to get Char Cadet? I think I used it. No, the one that I kept having to replace was Xilestar, because Xilestar was overlapping with two other Pokemon, so I had to like replace Xilestar twice with a different Nacli each and every time. So pretty much the Xilestar that I do have is like Xilestar 3, I think. It's either 3 or 4. And it's interesting to have that. But what is the one that I'm thinking of though? So 4. Yeah, so I still have Muddy. I don't remember if I gave him his EVs yet. Maybe I should do that. Maybe when I do the Arcanine, I'll also do Muddies. But the thing with Muddies is that, like, it's very precise on certain numbers. Oh, something else I wanted to mention, and I'll probably mention it. Oh, so at some point I have to record my Scarlet because I have to report on that. Yeah. Okay, I kind of figure out what I need to do. Okay, so I did buy every clothing item in the game, by the way. So anything that you can get, like in terms of like the socks, the helmet, like the socks to the helmet, blah, 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 I have them all. I didn't get the numbers right off the bat. However, I used Cerebee's source of the information. So again, take it with a grain of salt if you will. But I did use theirs because theirs is in a much more easier graph to use and copy paste in order for me to get the prices for each and every one. Oh, and I'm also including the Rotom cases, by the way. So all of that is bought. And I think I can pull it up. Where is it? Where's the thing? It's under here? Is it this? Yes, it is. Okay. So the total amount of money you need for each and every item okay, there we go. I accidentally edited it. Alright, so for each and every item from the 7 categories that I see here, which is... I'll have to check on Cerebee then. Oh my word. I don't know. Anyway, like from the 7, pretty much like the hat, the gloves and all that stuff, pretty much the total amount of gold or total amount of Poké Dollars you will be spending, and this isn't including like the ones that I bought, that is I was just gonna add 5,000 to it. These are like the full numbers that you're supposed to be paying for. So the total number of Poké Dollars you need is 6,757,500 Poké Dollars. Well, that's nothing to sort of like go like, that's like chump change. That's a lot. And unfortunately, the only way that I was able to grind enough money was by going through the 7-star raids. And a lot of the ones lately have been such a bother to like do it. Like, if this was, like, the Charizard raid, like, that one gave me the most easiest time. And not only the easiest time, but also, like, the easiest amount of money possible. Like, I was able to get 4 million, like, Poké Dollars, like, no problem, pretty much. With very few issues, mostly because people use Azumarill. And then they get targeted, and then it's like, oh my god, you used a Pokemon that you took away half its HP, and it's not going to survive from a Charizard. And meanwhile, you have me using frickin' Fluttermane, able to actually survive hits. But anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of things that I wanted to... so I'm glad that I was able to get that done with the help of the newer 7 stars, plus with the help of Charizard to kind of help out with the beginning part. I was able to get these numbers, so that's good. That helps out a lot. No! Entree! Stop it! Entree, stop it. Are we gonna lose because of this Pidgey? We are, aren't we? Ah, we should have gone the Raikou, man. The Raikou would have been awesome. We could have, like, Thundershocked this thing down. Finally. And now... we have Pidgeotto. Which is going to be even more of a hell. Oh? Let's see if Ember will work. Nope. So I still have the fan game planned. Like it's still in the works. I mean, I still want to do a little bit of work on it first, because it has a new game plus that we'll be using. So I want to work on my original save first a little bit more before we go new game plus, and then just start where I was, right? Bite the bird. Come on. Come on, Entree. Bite the bird. Entree. Come on. I don't know if it's supposed to have, like, a special accent or anything like that. I'm surprised that the gym leader hasn't used an item yet. I'm actually very surprised. What? It got a higher roll that time? Come on. Entree. Oh my word. That is so interesting. Andre almost lost to the first gym. But if we were probably at least 1 or 2 levels higher, we could have actually won without actually having any problems. I want to let that be a note. So, yeah. I'm so used to Ho-Oh and Lugia just having, like, that overpowered move at first that has, like, the lowest amount of power points to use. Oh my word. Come on, man. I don't care about the egg. I really don't care about the egg. Yeah, so I'm not gonna... so something else that I wanted to mention is that... will I buy the DLC for my Violet? Maybe. I'm definitely not gonna do the same thing I did with... what was it? With my Sword and Shield. Where I bought the DLC 3 times. And I bought the game 3 times, too. I bought Sword once and Shield twice. And I bought the DLC 3 times. So you could say that I've already messed up. But the reason why I bought Shield twice was because I was a big goof, and instead of registering Shield on my second account, I was a big goof and put it on my main account. So because I put it on my main account instead of my side account, when I got my second Switch, my side account couldn't go on Pokemon Shield. So, you know what I did? I brought out the credit card pretty much and bought Shield a second time. Bite. Yeah, but I think the only way that I would actually get the DLC for my Violet is if I have a homebrew Switch. Now, before anybody goes off on a tangent about the homebrew Switches, I want to tell you guys exactly why I want a homebrew Switch before you go and put down in the comments that, oh, you just want it because you get to hack games and stuff like that. That's not what it is. The reason why I want a homebrew Switch is because I am a big save-aholic. I have every save that I ever had. I literally have all of my Oblivion... Well, most of my Oblivion saves, I should say. Not all of them, since most of them is on a dead PS3 that's hard drive is now gone. So, I can't grab every save. However, from my Xbox 360... and PCs, so all the computers I've ever had, I've actually done it, so I do have them. And how many are there? Again, the PlayStation 3 is pretty much the version of Oblivion in which that I tested out like every race with every birth sign and different playstyles and such. They never got off from level 5, but then again, that's just the leveling issue in Oblivion in a nutshell. That's the reason why that they're so low level. Anyway, where is it? Should be up on the top, right? Yeah, there it is. Let's go with Oblivion. So there's 13 saves. And one thing that I want to do is I do want to show off my... maybe I'll do it at the end of modded playthrough, I don't know. I want to show off my Xbox character, because my Xbox character is one of the few things that got me inspired to create my armor. It's one of the few things that got me inspired to go and create it. Which is very interesting that, like, you can say that a character on a console, even if it's a character you created, inspired you to do something that makes the PC version even worse, pretty much. But yeah, another thing that I wanted to mention is that, like, I homebrewed my my 2DS, and I was able to get the saves off of those games in particular. And the reason why I wanted those saves is because, like, I can easily just grab Pokemon from them and all that stuff. Now, another thing I do is I do use PK Hex, however, I do it in a different way. I use PK Hex to help sort of fill in a folder called Complete Pokédex. Now, for the Complete Pokédex, I use it so though I know each and every nickname I would ever give any Pokemon. Plus, it also kind of also shows me how overused a Pokemon that I've used is. So, one that I could definitely tell you right off the bat is if I go to here and I go to you. So I have, according to this, I have a total number of 10 Gardevoirs in which that I've used throughout Generation 7. Sorry, Generation 6. I think it's missing one. Yeah, I think it's missing one. But I think that's just something I was too lazy to do. Or too lazy to pretty much fix. Because this has all the way up until Pokemon Legends Arceus. So what I did for Pokemon... So the reason why I have a Pokemon Legends Arceus is when I grabbed my Palkia to my friend's homebrewed Switch so that I could edit it so I could change the Pokeball. That's all I did. I just changed the Pokeball. All of its stats were the same as I caught it. It's just the Pokeball because I felt cheated at the fact that they let you use the Origin Ball instead of using the Origin Ball to kind of suppress the Palkia's power so you can use any ball you want. But hey, I'm choosing to do it my way. So what I did is that I did technically hack it. However, when I did it, I got a glimpse, or not really a glimpse, because I still technically have the original, but I got to see the trainer ID and the secret trainer ID. So I was able to sort of create, if I would cheat them in, or technically a copy of all of my Pokemon Legends Arceus team, and every Pokemon I've used in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think I don't have from Ursaluna. Oh no, I do have Ursaluna. Interesting. I didn't think I had these ones in here. Cool, I do have them. But I don't have anything for Generation 9. I literally just created the folder today, like literally 10 seconds ago. Get ready for a lot of that. So I gotta go through Generation 9 and do all that. That's gonna take a long time to do, and I also don't have my secret trainer ID and all that stuff, so I mean, it's not like it's gonna be exactly mine, so and my friend's not gonna come down here and allow me to trade one Pokemon to him so I can grab the file for it. He's not going to do that. The only thing he's going to do is that he's going to tell me, why don't you just get your own? And that's exactly what I want. I want my own so I can grab every Switch game that I have and grab all of their saves. I'm not joking when I say this. I literally have an entire folder like I have my entire folder structure ready when it happens. I literally between the 48 games that are on my Switch currently. Sorry, 47 apparently, because apparently I created one for Shining Pearl, even though I don't have it. Well, I don't have any way of playing it normally, but I do have it. I do have a folder ready for it. But again, like, I have all this stuff, but yet I can't do anything with it. And one of them is useless, by the way, because, so, the weird thing about the Nintendo Switch was that they advertised cloud saving, which is amazing. However, the Pokemon games themselves don't use it. But there actually is another game that doesn't use it. But not only does it not use it, but it also doesn't allow you to transfer save data from one Switch to another. Believe me, I was very angry when I found this out. And that game that doesn't allow you to transfer from console to console is Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Now, why doesn't it allow you to do that? I have no idea. But a theory that I have is because they literally ripped it from the Xbox, and I don't know if the PlayStation will actually function the same. But I remember watching somebody play Legacy of the Duelist on the Xbox One, I think. I think that was the console it came out on. I'm not 100% sure. But I did see somebody playing on there, and they were going through the story or whatever. Anyway, I kid you not, it looked exactly like the same menu. The only difference is that it's my Nintendo Switch characters instead of the Xbox stuff, right? So I think that's one of the reasons. But yeah, but not only that though, that also means that I can bring my, I mean, the only thing I would bring that would be from my PC to my Switch would be my Skyrim character. I mean, it would be kind of cool to have my Skyrim character that I've used for years and years and years to be on my Switch. And not only that, I get a proper backup of my Diablo 3. Boy, was that ever fun to find out that all the hard work I did for 2 characters to level them up to 70 beat Act 4, only to find out that, like, my Switch decided to crash at some point or something like that. And decided, no, I think it overrided the save with the cloud save version for whatever reason. And so the cloud save version was out of date. So guess what it did? It overwrote my new save with an older save. So I lost 2 characters pretty much. So I lost them, I think I lost, what was it, the monk completely. And I think I was working on, or I was using Wizard at least a little bit at the beginning. I think I got to like level 10 before I stopped. And then that's when I was just working on my Necromancer and Crusader or Paladin or whatever all the way. And then once I got both of their stuff to be fully at, like, I don't want to say God tier, but like pretty much God tier in terms of like the default game. In a way. Well, you guys have seen my my Necromancer stuff. That's the stuff I was using at the end of the playthrough. So you guys got to see that stuff. And even then I was I was still so fascinated by the fact that, like, you know, when you have high leveled equipment but you're able to downgrade their levels, the game gets incredibly easy. Usually what happens is that a game that has a mechanic like that has sort of like a way to circumvent that by having a way in which that your items don't get that effect. Which is very interesting that Diablo 3 didn't have that mechanic, but it seems like... But by the way that it's playing, kind of thing, or the way that you play the game, it makes it feel like it should have had that mechanic. So it's hilarious. And not only that, most of the games that I have on my Switch too, I would love to do a playthrough on the channel, but unfortunately, some of them don't support cloud saving, and I would much rather not have to, well, I do still have that account, but I would much rather not have to use a dummy account in order to play those games. Because if those games support New Game Plus, I would prefer that overall. Because then I'll just go through the story again with you guys. The only difference is that, like, I'll know the story a little bit, but it's going to be, oh yeah, remember that. That's all it's going to be. It's not going to be like, oh my god, this is what happens this point. It's like, I'm never going to remember that kind of point. Anyway. But at the very least for the channel, I don't have to redo Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and, well, Violet, pretty much. Or Scarlet, because those ones are already done. But I do want to mention this because it is something that, well, kind of needs to be mentioned, because it kind of affects the channel in a way. So when we do Pokemon Sword and Shield, technically one or the other, it doesn't have to be both, or both of them, I don't know. So when we have to deal with that, we do not have to do the Crown Tundra DLC. Or the Star Tournament, I think. The Galarian Star Tournament or something like that. Now, I want to tell you guys why we don't have to deal with those two in particular. The reason why we don't have to deal with those two in particular is because we already have Crown Tundra already on the channel. The only thing I have to worry about for Pokemon Sword and Shield, or Sword or Shield, depending on whichever one I want to do, is just the normal game and the Isle of Armor. That's all I have to do. I don't have to do anything else. Just those two. I'm going to use Ember. But I also don't have to do Pokemon Legends Arceus because we already have 100 or so videos of that, so. Unless they decide to throw in more DLC, but other than that, nothing. But then again, I'm trying to think though, do I want to do Shining Pearl? I didn't like them. I mean, just for the continuity kind of thing, yeah, maybe I'll do Shining Pearl just to say like, hey, look, we did all the Pokemon games. Yay! And we mostly did them in order. Mind you, the only reason why they wouldn't be in order is because a new game came out, and that one needs to take center stage. So since we only have about 10 minutes left, I might as well talk about new plans that I have for, well, my mod for Oblivion, while there's nothing really too much to talk about. So one thing that I want to do is I want to expand the area. Now, I do want to mention one thing before we go a little bit too off topic to what I want. So, the one thing that I want to mention is that I wanted to have 2 versions of my mod. Mind you, there already is 2 versions, technically 3, but eh. But I mean by the place in which that we go to. So, one would be the lodge, of course, and then the other one would be a castle. Now, the castle is supposed to be a representation of what would happen if Archimus actually won the internal struggle between him and Drathis. He would have changed the entire sort of the Heart realm, pretty much. So he can construct a castle in his great will, pretty much, and the castle in which that he would have been able to build or put in his image, or whatever you want to kind of word it as, would have been the Anvil Castle. And one of the cool features that I was going to do was that I was going to add the 2 DLC areas as extra locations for the Anvil Castle. That would have been the one DLC that already sort of interacts with the Anvil Castle, which is the Dunbarrow Cave, or pretty much what I like to call the Hideout, because that's what I would have named it in the the construction set. And the other place was going to be Deep Scorn Hollow, I think. I don't remember how the cave is actually pronounced, but pretty much it's the evil lair, pretty much, which would have been a very cool sort of area in which that I would have very much loved to have put in. The only problem is that the part that was actually a big problem was the castle. The castle was too big for the island that the lodge is on. So one thing that I thought of was, hey, there's a shortcut to resize a lot of objects all at once. So hopefully it'll keep the same shape, but it will resize it. That's not how it works. What it does instead is that it takes the item where it currently is positioned and changes the size. You know how that helps me? It doesn't. It means that this rock that's at 000 will remain at 000, but it'll change shape. Like, it'll change the size of it. Instead of changing the size and then going, oh no, it's not like how it should be. It should be at 001 or something like that. Because that's what it looks like it's at, or something like that. Nope. So I have to do the entire island by scratch all over again, or just make an entirely different island specifically for the castle. Now, the Anvil Castle I grabbed was from Open Cities. Now, there is a version of Open Cities that I found called Open Cities Reborn. It's not on the Nexus, as unfortunate as it is, because I was unable to find Open Cities and Open Cities Reborn on the Nexus. So I had to sort of dig around a little bit to find the original sort of thing, and I found Reborn instead. So I grabbed that, and I looked at I looked at every castle, by the way. And I gotta say though, Anvil and Skingrad more. Skingrad looked amazing in comparison. The only thing that I didn't like about Skingrad was the fact that the roof looks so bad. But everything else about the Skingrad castle looked amazing. And there's another mod in which that I have that's supposed to further improve the castles. So I'm thinking of going through that mod as well when I get time this weekend, in order to just go through it and seeing if I like that Anvil Castle as well. Now, while I would have loved to do the castle, and while I'm still gonna keep it, I don't think I want to work on it nearly as much as I do with the lodge. I want to keep the lodge. However, there are some few things that I want to mention. One is that I'm thinking of still keeping the hideout and the lodge, or not the hideout and the lodge, the hideout and the lair, pretty much, the Dunbarrow Cave and the Deep Scorn Hollow location. I want to have them still. I guess I could put them still in the lodge. The only thing is that it's not accurate, if that makes sense. So when Archimus takes full control over the heart, pretty much, he's evil. He obviously wants the castle over a little house. So obviously he's going to try and enslave people to build him a castle. And it makes sense that he would have an evil lair. However, for Drathis and the lodge, it doesn't make much sense. Because Drathis, to be fair, I want to explain this in better detail, so though just in case anybody thinks that Drathis is evil, you're not wrong, but you're also not entirely correct. So what I mean is that while you could say, though, that anybody who uses dark or evil magic is considered evil, again, you are correct. However, Drathis is not evil. He's just using evil powers to do good. Again, he's using an evil force known as the Dark King's Heart, and is using it to save people's lives. I don't consider that evil. I consider that a good act. But is he using evil weapons and armor and all that stuff to do it? Of course. Gotta fight fire with fire kind of situation. So, it makes sense. But again, in the lore of the Dark King's Heart / Drathis and Archimus would never have had enough influence over the heart's sort of geography of the island enough to be able to create the lair. Or technically the hideout, but that's beside the point. I don't think the hideout is more of the issue. It's the lair that's more of the issue of what I don't want. But then again, the hideout also doesn't make much sense either, but it makes more sense for me to put the if I had to pick one or the other, the hideout over the lair makes more sense. But again, between the two, the lair doesn't make much sense because again, Drathis isn't evil. He just uses evil items to do good. So it's kind of weird. However, for the hideout would be a pretty interesting thing. And no, there's not going to be any NPCs. However, there is something I do want to add to either the hideout or the lair, depending on whichever one I pick, is a replica of the Anvil Castle that I was going to use. Again, this comes to the same point that I came across about the castle. But not only the castle, but if you remember, I think I talked about it I think the title of the video is New Update. I don't remember the part number off the top of my head. It might be like 126 or 127, I think, or something like that. Or no, 300 something. Give me a second. It's probably 300 and something. What is it called? Where is it? Maybe it was like 302 or something. I remember reading it, and I remember that I was getting a bunch of views on that, and I was confused by that. Okay, now I'm just gonna search up for update. 319, that's what it was. So at 319, I probably said it there. Maybe it was episode 320, not quite sure. But I said how hard it was for the Stalrus Manor to be perfect in that little area. And that's 2 pieces. That's 2 pieces. That's the manor itself and that small little thing on the side. That's all it is. The castle, you have the walls, you have the castle itself, and you have the balcony on the back you have to worry about. And you have to worry about the towers. And you have to worry... There's so many things you have to worry about. Plus, again, the same idea with how the island couldn't be redone kind of thing. As easy as it was that I was thinking that it could be done. You gotta think of it in the same way with the castle, too. So, those walls are going to stay in the same spot, but change size. They're going to stay in the same location, but change size. Which means I would have to go in after the fact and change the size. And where they are located. So that way it fits. And that's not fun. So I don't know if I'm going to do the castle thing. I might just put that as a side project. Or I'll do it in stages or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Alright, so that's going to be it for now. As I said, I apologize for the fact that it's not going to be as long as the other 2 ones were. However... I mean, getting up to Gym 2 is pretty darn good. So, when we come back, it'll be a longer session, don't worry. It'll be 8 or whatever it's supposed to be. And everything else will be done. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for some more Pokemon Crystal.